everyone and welcome back to my channel. Excuse the setup again, I'm still around my dad's and also it's really hot, but I've still got a blanket on because it's comfortable. So I've basically got individual videos on these topics which I'll link down below, but I thought it would be a good idea to put everything together with some extra tips for my comprehensive guide to starting year 12/Sixth Form. Or college, you know, these could also apply, although this is more directed towards A-levels. Now, I've got a little list of what I want to cover. I want to go through picking your A-levels and your school, preparing for year 12, what should you bring, so your stationery, bags, etc., how you should go about your first day, how you should revise, how you should balance your work, and also considering university, because that's something I was terrified about, which it turns out I didn't need to be, but I'll get into that later. So to begin with, picking your A-levels and your school. Now I have two videos about this, one about comprehensive versus grammar / moving schools, and one about picking your A-levels. And for the A-levels, essentially what you want to take is what you're passionate about. Don't take something because your friends or your teacher told you to. Don't take something just because you're good at it at GCSE, because you won't necessarily be good at A-level. Take something you enjoy, take something that might link into a future career path. So for example, if you want to do medicine, you're going to be wanting to take sciences, and if you want to do history, you want to take history. But just take what you think you would like to learn about in detail, having to do extra reading and everything. Picking a school. So this is a bit more, I'd recommend you go watch my video on this because it's going to be hard to summarise this. Only really move if you have a decent reason, I guess. I mean, if you want to change, go with what your gut says, is what I say. If your current school won't let you take certain subjects, I would recommend maybe moving if there's a better school around that will let you, because once again, you want to be taking A-levels you're passionate about. I don't think I summarised that very well. Go watch the full video. So, preparing for year 12. This is a bit, I don't know, it really depends on if your school set you prep work. See, my school didn't. We didn't get anything set to go into year 12. And honestly, I don't think you need to do any prep. Maybe if you can find a textbook online or watch some videos just to get a feel for it. I looked up some practice papers just to see what kind of questions I was going to answer, but then it made me panic because I saw 30 marker. 30 markers aren't as bad as they sound. I hate them, but they're not as bad as they sound. So yeah, maybe just look up the course, get a feel for what you're going to be doing. If you're doing English Lit, read the books. Only 2 of us in my class read them though, so it's not too big of a deal if you don't. Essentially, don't worry too much about prep. You don't need to unless your school sets some homework, in which you should do that. But yeah, that should be alright. So stationery, I made a video a year ago, wow, blimey, about my year 12 stationery haul, and there were some little mistakes in there. I did make a revised one as well. Both of these are linked below. And okay, what do you need for year 12? Lots of folders is the #1 thing. I have 2 to 3 folders for each subject. I do 4 subjects, I have a lot of folders. And I initially thought that like 7 would be enough. No, it's not. You need a lot of folders. You also want a day folder, which should be a big one. I'd recommend maybe a lever arch. And for that, I would put all of my topic work in and I'd move it into individual folders at the end of a topic. Now, with A-levels, everything's done in folders and on paper, so you're not really going to have exercise books anymore, unless your school does that. I don't know any schools that do that. So you're going to need a lot of notebooks, and I'd recommend getting a hole punch to put everything into the folders. Staplers are useful, scissors are useful, but get the school safe ones so that they don't think that you're going to murder anyone with them. I've got some very blunt scissors, but they do cut out paper. I really like these little plastic wallets. I don't have my folder here on under my sociology textbook, which is chunk. Yeah, like these little plastic wallets, I really like them. I find them really useful. Revision cards are also good. Also, I am sweating. I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea. I'm trying to just look through here. 2 highlighters are good if you're doing essay subjects, because sometimes your teachers will ask you to highlight things to help plan questions. If you're doing maths or sciences, they might have subject-specific things you need. Like I know maths have a very certain calculator you need. So check whatever your school sent you if you're doing those subjects, and they should tell you what you need specifically. But in general, it's just what you need for year 11 plus like more folders and a hole puncher and all of that jazz. Also get a glue stick. Now, your first day. So this differs depending on if you're going to a new school or you're staying at your old school, although I think in both situations you're going to be nervous. But what I want to say is that everyone is in the same boat. I felt like a year 7 again when I started, but that's because I moved school and I didn't know my way around and it was very scary and I wanted to cry. But it was fine. It was great. Loved it. I'm happy there now. But I saw in my comments not everyone feels that way. It's just how I felt. But if you're nervous, don't worry. Everyone's going into sixth form for the first time as well. If you're moving schools and you're worried about making friends, don't worry at all. Just talk to people if you can. People might talk to you. I made my first friends just because we were standing outside our form room and we were like, hey, what school are you from? Oh, that's cool, we're friends now. Because the school I moved to a sixth form, and there was sort of a mix of internal and external students, but quite a lot of external students came. So there were loads of other people that were new. But if you're moving to a school where there's not as many people that are new, think about when new people came to your secondary school. People tend to, I find, people tend to swarm around them, try and make friends with them. So I really wouldn't worry too much about making friends. It's in this section. So first day, just sort of follow what your school says. For us, we were told to go to the sixth form block for 8:30 and there'd be signs to take us to our form rooms. And then they did ice-breaking activities and then we went to one lesson. That first day was so boring. They were like, oh yeah, you can use your phone, but make sure that you're not using it for social media. Okay? Okay. So yeah, they'll tell you everything. It will be very guided and I really wouldn't panic too much. And trust me, with sixth form, this is completely away from the first day, I guess, but it really doesn't take long to get used to it. It took me about 2 weeks until I felt comfortable. You get into a bit of a routine. It's all good. So revision techniques. I'd say revise as you go along is the best way to do it because there is a lot more content for sixth form. You can't expect to sit there and watch Primrose Kitten the day before the exam. And I know you guys, class of 2020, didn't have to sit your exams, and I would say I'm jealous of you, but the government messed up big time, and I'm very happy the protests work as of the time I'm recording this. Government's on a U-turn, but it's a bit late. Oh, anyway, I'm not going to go on a political rant. Yeah, so you're not going to want to save everything to the last minute. What I like to do is, what I did at the beginning before I did 4 A-levels, because I picked one up later because I'm an idiot, don't do that, is every time I had a free or a study session, because we didn't have much work, I'd do any homework that I'd been set. Do your homework on the day is definitely what I say. Hardly anyone does this. You should do it. Honestly, it is amazing because then you don't have to stress about it. So do your homework the day it's set. And this is reminding me I've still got to write a 30 marker. I'm probably going to do that as soon as I finish recording. And maybe do blurts, pomodoros. So blurt is just where you sit down and you write a topic and you put everything you remember. Pomodoro is where you revise in 2 25-minute sessions with a 5-10 minute break in between just to split up your work. It's very good. It's very motivating. Revision cards are good. Practice questions are good. Basically, just every revision method you can. Try them out, see what works best for you, but do revise as you go along. Balancing your time. So you're going to have frees as well as just standard lesson time. So I like to, because I do 4 subjects, I tend to use my frees to study. However, I would always give myself a Friday off to go sit in the common room and drink coffee. So try and find a routine where you're balancing work and free time, because you don't want to spend all your time working, you will burn yourself out. I also tended to give myself the weekends off because I did my work in the week, but I would do some revision on the weekends. Just find a way where you are giving yourself a break, but you're also not falling behind on work. I think the Friday morning thing works really well. So yeah, maybe do half your frees or get your timetable and write, I don't know, maybe you do 3 subjects. So you're going to have like, how many frees? 2 frees a day. I'm jealous of you. Maybe be like this free here, highlight it and write study free, and then highlight another one and say coffee free. Coffee is sixth form's lifesaver. And just find a good balance. Make sure you're not burning yourself out, but you're not falling behind on work. University, you don't have to worry about it yet. That's all I'm going to say. You don't need to worry about it yet. You will not need to start thinking about that seriously until about June, July time. Although I would recommend trying to get an idea of what course you want to do, and if there are any opportunities, take them, because you want to start preparing for your personal statement early. But also don't be in a panic being like, I don't know what I want to do. You don't need to worry yet. You've got plenty of time. But yeah, any events like uni days or uni days. Okay, then this is not related to uni, but like uni day student discount, get that. You qualify for that. I remember when I started sixth form how happy I was for my student discounts, and I completely forgot it existed during the pandemic, but that's something I need to reinstall and get my student discounts. Yeah, go to uni open days, go to uni taster days. I went to quite a few for law, and they're basically all over my personal statement now. So read loads of books and do further reading for your subjects unrelated to uni, but read any articles you find that might be interesting. Your teachers should recommend some books. Read ahead, do some prep work before lessons if you want to. It's not necessary, but I find it helps. And in general, just make sure you enjoy your time in sixth form. If I missed anything, I'll make a part 2. Just leave a comment down below, anything you'd like to see. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.